Welcome back to the Real Estate News. Joining me now is Geri Colucci with Equitable Property Management. So welcome, Geri. It's a thrill to see you today.
Thank you. I'm glad to be back as usual.
So we're talking money today.
We
money,
are.
Money, right? And
Exactly.
the kind of money we're talking about is the deposit.
Right,
So,
which is tenant money.
Tenant deposit. So before a tenant even moves into a rental property, how do you determine what an appropriate deposit is going to be?
Well, it's usually based on the rental rate. So if it's $2,500 a month, then the tenant has to give a $2,500 a month deposit. And the only time that is increased is when we do the credit report. If the credit score or the debt to income ratio is not good, then we will ask for an additional month's deposit. So in the case of a house that's $2,500, the tenant would have to give $5,000 in deposit. And if they're not willing to do that
then
to protect the owner, then it's not worth that's not worth the risk.
Well, and that seems fair.
Yeah.
Now, what about, one of the things that is synonymous with deposit is pets, right?
Yes.
So how do you determine the amount of a pet deposit?
Well, we usually just use our standard. It's $500 for a dog and $250 for a cat. We prefer to have only one animal in the house. It depends on the owner. Some owners are pet lovers and they'll let us have two. But sometimes part of the pet deposit is non-refundable.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask you next.
Yeah,
so,
there's always some kind of damage from a dog.
Right. Well, even just, the presence of an animal in a home, you're going to have the carpets cleaned, or, there's going to be more upkeep, I would imagine, just to keep it fresh.
And a lot of the times it's not that the dog is not well trained, they are, but they have body oils.
Sure.
And the owner
when
will
they
take
play
them
outside
to the beach.
and there's hair and shedding and
And that gets onto the carpet.
Okay. Now, what about, is there a bigger deposit required when the property is furnished versus unfurnished?
Usually the deposit is a little higher, but some of it is always non-refundable. We call it a refurbishment fee, for those glasses that are broken or silverware that's lost.
Just wear and tear, that comes with being in a home.
And we always have to be careful with the deposit because it's very well governed by the South Carolina Landlord-Tenant Act. So we're very, very careful with handling a tenant's deposit.
Who does the deposit technically belong to?
The tenant. It is the tenant's money and remains as such throughout the tenancy, and it only becomes part of the owner's money if there's damage to the property.
Okay. Or unless there's that pre-agreed upon amount that's non-refundable,
yes,
right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Right.
Now, are the tenants, do they know very clearly what criteria has to be met to get their deposit back?
They do. Actually, when they sign their lease, we give them what's called a move-out checklist at the same time.
Oh, good.
Which tells them how to expedite the return of their deposit, if they have to have the carpets professionally cleaned. We're very specific with people because everybody's a lot more cooperative when they're informed up front.
Well, thank you so much again, Geri. As always, your clients are in excellent hands and for enlightening us about security deposits, and we look forward to seeing you here again soon.
My pleasure. Thanks.